So anxiety is actually a natural thing. It's a natural protectant and alerts us to danger, and it helps us to prepare for a variety of situations. But anxiety becomes pathological when it begins to impair daily functioning in different aspects of life. Saying up today, 3 brave decisions. Number 1, silence, saying no, and walking away. Anxiety is a normal and necessary part of life. Remember what we said up here. Anxiety alerts us to danger and helps us prepare for a variety of situations. And even though more information about anxiety is accessible today than ever, there are still a lot of misconceptions about anxiety. Even though there's more information out right now about anxiety than ever before, a lot of people don't understand anxiety. So we're going to talk about it today. So hopefully after we get done with this, you'll understand anxiety, and particularly your anxiety, better. 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Number 1, imagined threats. Anxiety is a response to danger and uncertainty, but it doesn't need to be triggered by a real or actual threat. Your anxiety does not have to be triggered by a real or actual threat. Anxiety can be triggered by nearly anything as well as nothing. Anything can trigger your anxiety, and nothing can trigger your anxiety. It can be all up in your head. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a whole lot of people in the graveyard because of what somebody thought. It's a lot of people in the graveyard because of what somebody thought that wasn't even true. It was all up here. The mind is a powerful thing capable of inventing a threat that, regardless of how irrational, it feels real. You can imagine in your head something, you can imagine somebody don't like you. And it doesn't mean they don't like you. It's in your head. 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Physical manifestations. Anxiety does not limit itself to your thoughts and can affect your body as well, which is another example of how powerful the mind can be. Common physical manifestations of anxiety include chest pain, hives, gastrointestinal issues, muscle tension, and sleep disturbances. Anxiety can also have lesser known and more subtle physical manifestations such as jaw or facial pain from a developed habit of grinding your teeth when you're sleeping, or clenching your jaw during the day or while you're asleep. A lot of times when you grind in your teeth, that's come from some anxiety. If you grind in your teeth, best solution, number 1, you probably need to talk to a therapist. Number 2, go and buy you a mouthpiece and wear it at night. Health conditions that put you at risk. While physical symptoms may occur from anxiety, having chronic or serious health conditions can also put you at risk of developing anxiety. This can come from the constant worry that is commonly associated with experiencing illness, aches, or the threat of death. This may be particularly true for people who suffer from diabetes, heart disease, or have had a heart attack. Even the worry caused by other conditions like living with asthma or severe allergies may lead to anxiety. So people with health conditions oftentimes struggle with anxiety. Disassociation. 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Number 4, disassociation. Disassociation is a defensive response to stress, and its most common forms of disassociation are depersonalization, which is when you feel disconnected from yourself, or derealization, which involves feeling disconnected from reality or your surroundings. Disassociation is often thought to be associated with dissociative disorder, but can also occur from heightened anxiety or stress. 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Number 5, certain personality traits. Certain personality traits such as neuroticism have been found to be related to anxiety. Neuroticism refers to the tendency to experience negative emotions such as anger, irritability, and self-consciousness, and is characterized by a chronic level of emotional instability and vulnerability to psychological distress. This trait is closely tied to perfectionism, which is related to anxiety. And while perfectionists may often seem incredibly put together, they may only appear so since they're consumed with avoiding failure, expending energy on worrying about potential mistakes and their imagined consequences. Additionally, people who possess neuroticism trait also have a tendency to respond to experiences with negative emotions, which provides a yellow brick road to anxiety. 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Number 6, and the final one, depression, is related to anxiety. Actually, depression is the other side of the same coin. Two of the most commonly discussed mental disorders are depression and anxiety, and awareness of both of these has been increasing. However, some people may still consider these are separate mental health issues, when in reality, these often coexist, and people who have or are prone to depression are also vulnerable to anxiety. This is because the two conditions have a lot in common, and people with one or both disorders tend to have experienced a history of abuse or a difficult childhood. So a lot of people who experience depression, and commonly experiencing depression, you're going to have some anxiety associated with that. What they're saying is a lot of times that comes from a history of abuse or a difficult childhood. Man, we've been talking about childhood and how it affects us as grown adults, man, almost for the last few months. And that's very important, because a lot of our hiccups in life came from when we were kids and what we was taught. Because the biggest thing, your biggest obstacle right now is the miseducation you was taught. So the biggest obstacle in life, the biggest obstacle has been in life, is working against the miseducation that I was taught as a kid, man. That's what our biggest, come on, man, listen. Everybody who raised us didn't have it all together, man, and they didn't always teach us everything that we needed to know. So any adult who's raising a child to sell dope, you giving that child the tools to destroy his or her life. If you making dope dealing normal, you giving that child the tools to destroy his or her life. That's the biggest obstacle in life, man, is tearing away all the layers of miseducation that we've been taught as kids. Because that miseducation is what got us in the position that we in right now today. Everything them people taught you when you was growing up was not correct. If they wasn't teaching you to be respectful of yourself and be respectful of others, if they wasn't teaching you to work hard for what you get, if they wasn't teaching you not to steal, not to take from others, not to lie, to be honest, have some integrity about yourself, make sure you clean yourself, make sure that you care about your appearance and how you look when you go places, have some manners about yourself, do something for somebody and don't expect nothing from it, learn to be appreciative and grateful for what you have. If people wasn't teaching you that, and all they were teaching you is you represent this gang stuff. We've been doing this for generations. This is our gang stuff. You an idiot. You an idiot. Anytime I see a grown man in his 30s or up talking about a gang, I lose all respect for him. All respect for him. All right, so 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Number 1 was imagined threats. These are people who they have threats and they think that it's real and it's all in their head. And they creating this anxiety for no reason. Physical manifestations. Also, 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Number 2 was physical manifestations. That's when your body started hurting. That's when your health started deteriorating. You sitting around worrying and stressed out. You already had 1 heart attack. You already had 1 stroke. Number 4 was disassociation. Number 5 was certain personality traits. And then number 6 was depression. 6 things you may not know are related to anxiety. Any questions, concerns, or comments?
Something that I feel about in the early years and now, two individuals are disagreement.
Yeah.
And one leave. Years ago they were, but now if they leave, come like everybody leave because something, the guy coming back, somebody coming back with something.
Yeah, it could be. Somebody leaving and somebody coming back with something.
Yeah, you know,
could be.
And I just say, it's not like I used to be no more.
Right, right.